Steve Wilkos, I am so thrilled to finally meet you. I am really looking forward to you standing up to my abusive father. I practically grew up on your show and have always looked up to you as a powerful role model in my life. I have always dreamed that this day would come, and I am ever so grateful to you for this golden opportunity.
Yeah. Whatever. I'm going back to my dressing room. Just sign the contract with my producers and stay out of their way as much as humanly possible, and then hurry up and meet me on stage, and no matter what, don't ask me for my autograph.
Okay, Captain. Will do. What does the contract say, by the way?
It says... Excuse me, but I don't have time to answer any stupid questions right now. I have very urgent matters to tend to.
But.
I have to skedaddle. I'll see you on stage.
So would you like any cigarettes?
No thank you. I don't smoke.
Well, after you use the gift card we gave you to eat at Olive Garden, be sure to give me back the change. And whatever clothing we give you to wear in our dressing rooms, we need you to give them back to us, so that other guests can wear them in the future.
Oh, you were serious. Well, listen, do I really need to do all this right now? I just arrived and I have not quite recovered from my jet lag. Could I take a breather at my hotel first?
This is the reason you came here. And you better take the 10 seconds we are generously giving you to hone your acting skills, so you can show the emotion and drama that we need you to provide us for television. Don't you dare slack off on us now.
Anyway, something about this contract seems shady. It says that Steve is not unprofessional and that he is only using my story for entertainment reasons. If he is not an expert with valid credentials to provide me real advice, then...
Look, I have other guests who have contracts to sign. I don't really have time to talk about this, and you need to appear on stage with Steve very shortly. Just hurry up and sign it like everybody else.
But why didn't you tell me these things before? Why didn't you email me a copy of these terms first, to give me sufficient time to review and understand them thoroughly? And why won't the show display these disclaimers publicly?
Do you want Steve's help or not?
Well, yeah, but...
Well, snap to it and sign our legally binding contract, and give it to me right now so we can hurry up and viciously humiliate you on stage and then screw your whole life up for money and ratings. All talk and no action. Sheesh.
The lie detector proves that you're lying. Your father never beat you or called you a wimp who is afraid to be hip and cool until he embarrassed you into chugging down a bottle of Jack Daniels when you were 2 years old. In fact, you, the helpless little toddler, are the one who beat your 6'2", 250-pound father until you forced him to guzzle down that bottle. And even if he did beat you, it's your fault because you're the one who got him drunk and angry enough to do that to you in the first place. You're a filthy liar, and I hope you get a conviction when you go home, you sick POS.
That lie detector is wrong. I am not the one who beat my father. He is the one who beat me.
You're a bottom-feeding scumbag, and I fucking hate you. I hope somebody throws you into a cage filled with angry skunks until you're 50. Get the hell off of my stage, you nasty, stinky, miserable slut bitch.
So how did you manage to get a copy of that unsigned contract and escape from the studio in one peak dollar?
Well, I just played along and took photos of the facilities and of the written agreement with a pair of glasses, which are actually a camera in disguise. I also tape recorded the voices of the producers threatening and blackmailing the guests backstage using a tape recorder shaped like a pen. It's a good thing the producer who facilitated my case was so on edge and distracted in bullying the other guests in the waiting room that she didn't know I actually signed a fake contract in place of the one she gave me. Then I faked an asthma attack and said I left my respirator in my car and then made a dash for the parking lot where I emailed you those photos of the real contract with my smartphone. And here is a copy of the contract I actually did sign. Humph. Steve wishes I signed the real contract before I appeared on his stage pretending to be an easy victim. Little do these idiots know that we are undercover investigative reporters and my father and I actually have a very loving, nurturing relationship. It looks like these people's own narcissism finally worked against them.
So how did Steve's producers treat you when you arrived at the studio?
You wouldn't believe how much the woman who handed me the contract tried to shake me down. She wouldn't allow me to recuperate at my hotel and she wanted me to give me the story she wanted me to tell. And their offices and studio equipment are not the state of the art. They pay the guests so little, barely enough to cover a month of utility usage. And don't even get me started on their restrooms.
Well, whatever you tell me, Dolly, please don't subject me to a description of that. I just had dinner.
I wonder how a contract like this can even be considered legal in the first place.
It's hard to say why. It only silences victims while depriving them of justice.
It's strange because even though I was undercover and only playing a role, it was an incredibly emotional experience for me. I actually discovered firsthand what it's like to be betrayed by an idol you virtually grew up on and looked up to as a paragon. And then, in our up-close and personal encounter, I got to see the real Steve Wilkos. I think our viewers should be warned that if they are thinking about being guests on this show, these are the things Steve and his producers don't want you to know. They don't want you to know about this contract ahead of time. Well, here it is for all to see.
I believe Steve's fans should be advised that if they decide to be guests on his show, they should exercise utmost precaution, and then appear only if they have an ulterior motive like we do.
Oh no, look out Enzo. Steve's goons are behind you. They probably want the contracts back. They all look like a bunch of scary badasses. We are no match for them. We better give up our copies of the unsigned contract before they rip us both to pieces with the bare hands.
Really? Where?
Just kidding. Anyway, I don't think these cowards will air my episode, now that they know I signed a phony contract. These are the things that actually happen at the Steve Wilkos studio, and this is what we want to warn Wilkos fans about in case they are considering being guests on this show. Please understand that this contract can legally protect the show from being sued by its guests for abusing them.
And please, as a disclaimer, do not try anything like this unless you are completely serious and unless you yourself are a professional who knows what you are doing, because trying to deceive the Steve Wilkos Show in this way may require a lot of elaborate skill and discretion, and this is not mission impossible. And it could also be dangerous. But it could well prove a surefire way to bring this abusive show down, if you are in fact James Bond.
This contract proves that even Steve's own producers know and admit that Steve is an abuser himself, as are others who work for him. This is why he is more likely to abuse you if you are a woman. He also abuses a lovely lady we know in private, and this is why he takes this out on other lovely ladies who appear on his stage. He is not there to help you. He will only use you to monetize and sensationalize his show, and possibly even just as an outlet through which he can vent his own personal stress and rage.
We recommend that you take care of your problem at home by seeking therapy, drug rehabilitation, legal assistance, and so on. If you are a woman who is being abused, a good number to call is the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 800-799-7233.
And if you are a child who is being abused, we suggest you visit Childhelp National Child Abuse Hotline at https://www.childhelp.org/hotline/.